Hey everybody, I hope everybody's having a really good week this week. So this week what's popping and dropping is a elephant pop-up card. I'm going to bring him up so you can see him. Isn't he neat looking? So if you'd like, we can go ahead and head over to Design Space so we can see what's going to come in this file, and I'll meet you there.
Okay guys, so here is all the basic pieces you will get in this file. Also, I just want to touch on briefly that these are all score lines, the one with the straight line and the V. Personally, I found it easier to draw these on and then go and score them. You're going to really need a good score line for this to work easier for you. If you haven't watched the video where it gets to the part explaining this and you cut it out, it might be a little difficult if you use the Cricut scoring tool. And that's just what I have learned. So it's totally up to you, but if you want to change these, if you, let's just take the ear for instance, if you click on the ear, I've set these up in groups. So if you look over here on my right panel and we click on group, it's grouped all three of these together, and then we can just go over here to operation and you could change it to a pin, and then it will draw them on there for you, and then you can go and do your score lines yourself. So if you would like, we can go ahead and add any additional pieces that you would like to add to the file. Don't forget to go up and name and save your file. So why don't we go ahead and get our pieces cut out, and I'll meet you at the craft table. I'll see you there.
Okay guys, so here is our pretty paper and our card base. This is the front of mine. I just went ahead and wrote thanks a ton on here with my Cricut, and then on my inside I have to go ahead and create those pieces that's in the file and put them together. So we'll do that in a little bit. So if you'd like, we can go ahead and work our score line and put our two outside pieces on. So let's go ahead and do that. And if you're not going to use what's in the file, you can go ahead and put your inside pieces on also. All right, so we have this done. So if you want, we can go ahead and work our pieces that go on the inside. So why don't we go ahead and do that? So I wanted to give the border some extra height to it. So I cut out my pretty paper and then two additional pieces to glue together to just give it some more height. So why don't we go ahead and glue these pieces together. Now let's get our blue pieces out. Those are going to be used for our blue sky. And then we can go ahead and also go and get the rest of our background pieces out and sort those. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Now after I've sorted my pieces, what I'm going to do is line them up on my paper where they need to go. Once I have them all lined up, I'm going to take a pencil and mark off my black section so I know where to put it. And then we're going to start with our black piece and line it back up to where we marked it off to place it. And we're doing this because each of these pieces need to be layered on top of each other. So we'll put the black piece down, then the brown piece, and then the grass, and then our bush. So why don't we go ahead and do that? And now that we have our background on, we can go ahead and put our clouds at the top. Now what I'm going to do is take the left border and go ahead and put it around this half of our page that we have done. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do the exact same thing to the other side to decorate our card. The only thing we're going to do different is we'll put our border on the opposite side of which we placed it this time. And I'm just going to go ahead also and do some shading on my pieces. So why don't we go ahead and do that? since we have those done, I'm just going to line mine up about like so. And then glue them on the inside of our card. So we have that done for our inside of our card, and it's looking pretty good there. Now we can get our elephant pieces out. So the hardest part for me was the score lines. I tried 3 different ways to do this. I tried using regular score lines from my Cricut machine. I thought, let me try debossing and see if that makes a little bit more deep of a lines across it. And then the last thing I tried was went ahead and use my pen to show where I needed to make the score lines, and then used this to go over the score lines to make them deeper. And you probably can't notice it, but I use a gray pen, and the best way that worked for me is the pen and then going back over it with the score line. I could not, you could use your score lines and then go back over them again. The better the score line is, the better your pieces are going to fold, which you can see a huge difference from what my score lines usually look like. Like here on this ear right here, and you probably can't see it. Oh, there's a regular score line right there, right in that ear, just above the slit. That's how light the score line is. And for the ear, that's fine. You could work this ear easily. These really need to be worked. And it's up to you. If you don't want to go back through with something and score them deeper, that's fine. It's just going to be a little bit harder to work. And that's just what I have learned. So the nose is important for the score lines, as you can see here, to be worked. The ears on these, both sides of the ear, and then on the legs for these 2 sets of score lines. The rest of them you really don't have to work. I just did it to make it easier to fold. So if you want, we can start on this piece that I have here, and the side are just going to be mountain folds. Piece that I have will be a mountain fold. This is going to be a valley, and then the 2 legs will be a mountain fold also. So I think it's easiest if we work the 2 score lines on the legs first. So let's do that. And these will be mountain folds. And when you notice, it actually just starts working our middle piece to the back. So once I get up to the top, I kind of squeeze it together like I'm doing now, and then just push it close like we're going to sandwich it all up like so. Pretty easy there. And then for our legs, let's work our straight line first. And then the same thing on the bottom. Let's work the straight line on the bottom first. And then we're just going to work these little side tabs. And this is where it comes in important. If they're scored nicely, it makes it so much easier.
We go to work these score lines.
And if you're going to use a pen, like on this one, you can still see the pen marks on it, but to me it gives it like some more color, but it also gives some depth to it. So that really doesn't bother me. But on this one, I had a gray that matched perfectly with this, so you really don't see them a lot. So this top fold is going to be a valley fold. And then we have our two slanted lines. So there's the valley fold, and you can see my slanted lines here. So I'm just going to fold it down on that side. And then the same over here. Fold that down on the other side. So you should end up having something that looks like that. And now I'm just going to do the next one. So I'm folding it up on that crease right there, and then doing the same thing to the other side. So you can kind of see a little V right there. And then what we're going to do is just fold it right over on that score line, like so. And then fold it down and give it a good work. So we should have something that looks like that. Now for our little feet down here, it's really easy. We're just going to make our score lines over here a valley. We're just going to kind of push this up and then fold it up on top of our foot, like so. So I'm going to do it again on this side. So we're going to fold our little score line. We're going to fold right here where our cuts are on the side. So I'm going to push this back and see how I'm raising that up. Like so. And then I'm going to show you the inside so you can kind of see what that looks like. And then we'll just push it back down. Like that. And if you want, you could put just a little glue over here if yours keeps falling down. In those little crevices on the side, you can put a little glue if they feel like they're not staying to you. So we have our body piece done. So we can set him aside. Now for our ears, we can work the score line in the middle. And then the same thing with these elephant ears on the side, these V's. These are the tricky parts of the elephant, and it just takes time and practice. So I went in with my little tool here, and then I'm going to go do the same thing on the back side of it. And then once you have it done, this piece folds down in front like so. And then it gives it that little ripple effect right there. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing for the other ones. Okay, so there's the second one. So I like to do the first one, score line on top to me, just up until where it comes to the point, and then turn it over and do the bottom one, work that one the other way. And then you can push it in towards you. And this is just what I found easiest. You might find another way that works best for you. And your ears will start to curl up a little, and that's okay. To me, it makes it look more like an elephant ear. Slow and steady is what I can say for these. Don't rush. Isn't that nice? Look how cool it looks. Now we can set this piece aside and let's go to this piece here. So I'm going to put my eyes on, which go in these little sections here. So we can work this middle score line, and it will end up being a mountain fold. And then this line here. And then our two ears. And these really aren't ears. They will help our elephant stay in place. They're just tabs, but they look like ears to me. So what I'm going to do is go down and work just my straight score lines. So let's do that. then we can work our slanted score lines. And once you have it worked, you can kind of push it up and then give it a fold like that. And then we have our first little one. Now this is up to you. You can work the folds and then go back and fold them up. It's totally up to you, whichever you find easier. So I turn that over so you can see the back there. And then I'm going to fold this down. It does take patience. Now I'm not gonna fold it in half yet. I'm just gonna go to my next one. Now I have all those worked. Now I'm gonna go back and just fold them. So I got the top two done, and then I'm just gonna kind of give it a pinch, and then I'm gonna go to my next one. So we're gonna fold it up so we see the underneath, and then I kind of put my thumb on the side and then my finger on this side, and then just fold him down. And then give him a little bend there. Patience. No, I keep saying that, but that it really takes patience to get it right. So let's do the next one. On the straight line, we're going to fold it to the back. So we see his underneath his trunk. And then however you want to get those score lines
Folded.
and you can kind of see I don't have any special way of doing it. I'm just trying different ways that I think would make it work. So I have that one done, and then I'm just going to give them a little bend. And then on to the next one. I'm going to show it one more time for you. So on our straight line, let's fold it over so we see his back of his trunk. We see the back. Now we have our two slanted lines right there, and we're going to work those to turn it back over. That's what we got so far. And let's go ahead and do our last two. Now we can give this a good work in half. So you see how I'm just starting at my top and gently fold it in half until we get down to the bottom one. And then once we get it in half, we're going to give it a good fold in half. Isn't that cool? Love it. Now what we can go ahead and do is put a little glue on this triangle here, and then we're just going to fold it over to meet the other side. And then we can get our tusk out. And this right here on this little bump, wait, let's do it this way. This is the area from here back is what we will put right here. So we can put a little, I want to make sure we have it pointing up like so. And then we can put a little glue on this. And then we're going to put it right behind this section here. So that's what it looks like. And this doesn't have to be exact, because then what we'll do is just take our finger and then fold it over to the front like so. And then we have his little tusk. And then the same thing to the other side. Now we can take our head and our ears, and this just slides right, our little slits just slide right down. Make sure it's already cut into the slits at the top of our ear, like so. And then you want to make sure we don't have him too far down in. So it should look something like so. And then we'll fold our little ear back. That's really not our ear. And put some glue on it. And then we're going to just fold it over to the other side to hold his head in place. And you want to kind of get this lined up like so. We don't want this back piece showing. So I guess what I'm saying is this. So if I pull this down too far, you see how we can see that triangle right there? That's too far down in. So we want to have it setting so it looks like just his head. Nothing funny there. So I'm going to put a little glue on this little ear and then fold it towards our big elephant ear. Isn't that looking so cute? Now for our body. We're going to take our bottom two slits on here and here, and that slides onto our elephant body. And this is going to be a valley fold, so this is how it will fold up in our card. So if you kind of pinch it like this, make sure his legs are to the front, and then slide each side on. It works a little bit easier. Okay, so mountain fold for the top, valley fold for the elephant ears. The body is going to be a mountain fold. And if you kind of sandwich it up, it'll be easier to get it in. But then we can open it and we have our beautiful elephant. And that's how he will close up in our card. Isn't that so neat? Now, just to make sure the body doesn't fall off, get you a piece of clear tape. I guess it really doesn't matter if it's colored. You're not going to see it. And what we're going to do is lay it right in this area here to keep the head on. So I'm going to put it on this side and then to the body. and then give it just a nice squeeze and rub to make sure it's down. And then I did the same thing to the other side. And then we will just give him another squeeze to make sure the tape is down. And I'm just going to go over this one more time just to make sure we have it. So the top of the head is a mountain fold. These are the ears. It needs to be a valley fold. So you can see the valley in here. But if you're looking at the back, it'll be a mountain. The belly part is a mountain. And then the legs are a mountain also. And his trunk is a mountain. And this is how he will fold up in our card. I love this. So to put him in the card is really very easy. You'll bump the 2 tabs up in the score line. And you can work his trunk so it's kind of curled under. We're just making sure he's not coming outside of our card. Like so. And then once you have him where you like him, you're going to put glue on these tabs, on one tab, and then fold your card 2. And then you'll turn it over and put glue on this tab and then fold your card. But before I put my elephant in, I want to put my front on so it's not so bulky when I'm decorating. So I'm going to do that and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, so here is our finished card. It says thanks a ton. I love this little elephant and these hearts. And you could on these hearts change some to different colors. It doesn't have to be all red. And then we open it up and we have our amazing elephant. Look how cool that is. And it looks like he's walking right out of our card. Isn't that neat? And we could even display it like so. And I know you guys can't see it, but isn't that cool? Looks like he's walking right out of our card. And then on the back, I just went through some old pieces that I had and put this on the back. I kept it just real simple, just something that would go along with the card with the hearts. I think this turned out pretty amazing, guys. Do you guys know what an elephant's favorite font is? Elephant. Guys, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and crafting with me. Don't forget to stop by next week to see what's popping and dropping. Bye.